Dude, we're back, everyone. Shout out to the open-minded community. How's everyone out there?
Shout out.
We're back. Claude mixes it up. Every intro, he's got to do something.
Well, I do the
shit
bang,
with his
bang.
hands. He's going crazy with his hands every time.
Is the new thing now. Yeah. Hey.
At first, we were saying different things.
Well, it's cool to have like
an
explosive,
intro.
like, hey,
you watched some of our first videos.
Here. But then we're all like, yes, we're going to do respectable.
So, we have here.
Sir Immortal Technique.
These are both double-sided, full, in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Panic attack here on camera.
So we're going to do a panic attack reaction first.
I've held it together thus far.
The Poverty of Philosphy.
Wow.
This is a recent one, and like I said, like I just showed you guys, we got reactions to do. So
yeah,
I'm always going back.
We're gonna like them, like when you request them.
We'll like them no matter what,
or whatever. But then
it might take a little bit to get to them, but we
will
get to them.
I don't know, but we love the requests.
We'll get to them.
That was like
might take
the first
a month
thing.
or 2
We're like,
months or
yeah,
longer.
we'll put out our first video,
but eventually, yes,
and we'll see if we get requests.
Yeah, the uncertainty at the time.
And almost immediately, somebody's like, "Wow, that was cool. You should do this one." It's like, what?
It's pretty cool.
People requested
awesome.
more from us.
But we're gonna do this one.
So thank you.
And like I said, I'll go back and I'll write down like the last 2 weeks of what you guys request. So eventually we will, even if it's months, we'll get to everything. It takes time.
As best we can, anyways.
Yeah.
Most of my Latino and black people who are struggling to get food, clothes, and shelter in the hood are so concerned with that philosophizing about freedom and socialist democracy is usually, unfortunately, beyond their rationale. They don't realize that America can't exist without separating them from their identity. Because if we had some sense of who we really are, there's no way in hell we'd allow this country to push its genocidal consensus on our homelands. This ignorance exists, but it can be destroyed. Niggas talk about change and working within the system to achieve that. The problem with always being a conformist is that when you try to change the system from within, it's not you who changes the system, it's the system that will eventually change you. There is usually nothing wrong with compromising a situation, but compromising yourself in a situation is another story completely. And I have seen this happen long enough in the few years that I've been alive to know that it's a serious problem. Latino America is a huge colony of countries whose presidents are cowards in the face of economic imperialism. You see, third world countries are rich places, abundant in resources, and many of these countries have the capacity to feed their starving people and the children we always see digging for food and trash on commercials. But plutocracies, in other words, a government run by the rich, such as this one, and traditionally oppressive European states, force the third world into buying overpriced, unnecessary goods while exporting huge portions of their natural resources. I'm quite sure that people will look upon my attitude and sentiments and look for hypocrisy and hatred in my words. My revolution is born out of love for my people, not hatred for others. You see, most of the Latinos are here because of the great inflation that was caused.
This man is so wise. Like,
yeah,
he's not
seriously.
even. He's just speaking right now. He's not even.
He's
just speaking
I
truth.
mean, yes, he's wise, but he's just speaking on what he's lived through. You know what I mean? And
the
like
truths that he's learned.
And he's only speaking truth. He's not talking out of hatred. He's not talking out of. It's just true. Like rich people are exploiting rich
third world countries to the U.S.
resource areas,
to all kinds of first
whether
worlds.
people live there or not. And if people do live there, then corrupt those people, lull them into a frenzied hypnotic state, and then steal all their resources.
Like the Latin countries are
these
rich
people could use to
resources.
feed themselves, to clothe themselves, to get wealth for themselves.
Yeah.
But the rich, and first people get rich, then they'll build an impenetrable army.
Yeah.
And then turn that
so
and take
the
by American companies and that.
But then you have a specialized team to go in and corrupt and shitty up a society and turn them on themselves. You can just walk in and walk out with anything you want.
Yeah, because those people ain't got shit. They have nothing to defend themselves with. These people got automatic weapons and and they just
Right,
took all
yeah,
the
but I mean,
resources and built up.
But in the beginning,
greedy
what
wealth.
they do is they'll fund somebody to sell drugs to
Right.
the community,
Yeah.
somebody to sell guns to the community, and then start some sort of, oh, we're oppressing each other and we're going to fight each other.
And then-
Meanwhile, it's this other thing coming in, and then all the people
outside,
who
all the
want to
outside
help
influences
exploit within
as
that
well.
country, they're going to
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
America. Aside from that, many are seeking a life away from the puppet democracies that were funded by the United States. Places like El Salvador, Guatemala, Peru, Colombia, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and la República Dominicana. And not just Spanish-speaking countries either, but Haiti and Jamaica as well. As different as we have been taught to look at each other by colonial society, we are in the same struggle. And until we realize that, we'll be fighting for scraps from the table of a system that has kept us subservient instead of being self-determined. And that's why we have no control over when the embargo will stop in Cuba or when the bombs will stop dropping in Vieques. But you see, here in America, the attitude that is fed to us is that outside of America, there live lesser people. Fuck them, let them fend for themselves. No, fuck you. They are you. No matter how much you want to dye your hair blonde and put fake eyes in, or follow an anorexic standard of beauty, or no matter how many diamonds you buy from people who exploit your own brutally to get them, no matter what kind of car you drive, or what kind of fancy clothes you put on, you will never be them. They're always gonna look at you as nothing but a little monkey. I'd rather be proud of what I am rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not, just to fit in. And whether we want to accept it or not, that's what this culture or lack of culture is feeding us. I want a better life for my family and for my children, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of millions of lives in my homeland. We're given the idea that if we didn't have these people to exploit, that America wouldn't be rich enough to let us have these little petty material things in our lives and basic standards of living. No, that's wrong. It's the business giants and the government officials who make all the real money. We have whatever they kick down to us. My enemy is not the average white man. It's not the kid down the block or the kids I see on the street. My enemy is the white man I don't see. The people in the White House, the corporate monopoly owners, fake liberal politicians. Those are my enemies. The generals of the armies that are mostly conservative. Those are the real motherfuckers that I need to bring it to. Not the poor, broke country ass soldier that's too stupid to know shit about the way things are set up. In fact, I have more in common with most working and middle class white people than I do with most rich black and Latino people. As much as racism bleeds America, we need to understand that classism is the real issue. Many of us are in the same boat, and it's sinking, while these bougie motherfuckers ride on a luxury liner. And as long as we keep fighting over kicking people out of a little boat we're all in, we're gonna miss an opportunity to gain a better standard of living as a whole. In other words, I don't want to escape the plantation. I want to come back, free all my people, hang the motherfucker that kept me there, and burn the house to the goddamn ground. I want to take over the encomienda and give it back to the people who work the land. You cannot change the past, but you can make the future. And anyone who tells you different is a fucking lethargic devil. I don't look at a few token Latinos and black people in the public eye as some type of achievement for my people as a whole. Most of those successful individuals are just sellouts and house Negroes. But I don't consider brothers a sellout if they move out of the ghetto. Poverty has nothing to do with our people. It's not in our culture to be poor. That's only been the last 500 years of our history. Look at the last 2,000 years of our existence and what we brought to the world in terms of science, mathematics, agriculture, and forms of government. You know the idea of a confederation of provinces where one federal government controls the states? The Europeans who came to this country stole that idea from the Iroquois League. The idea of impeaching a ruler comes from an Aztec tradition. That's why Montezuma was stoned to death by his own people, because he represented the agenda of white Spaniards once he was captured, not the Aztec people who would become Mexicans. So in conclusion, I'm not gonna vote for anybody just because they black or Latino. They have to truly represent the community and represent what's good for all of us proletariat. Porque si no, entonces te mando pa'l carajo, cabrón, gusano, hijo de puta. Seremos libres pronto. ¡Viva la revolución! ¡Viva la revolución!
Wow. Holy shit.
Man, he's probably the
Undeniable.
bravest
telling
person
hip-hop?
I've ever
Or just in
heard
general?
speak.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. He's telling you everything that no one wants to hear that's exactly true.
and
What it is.
I mean, it is utterly true what he just said, and all we have to do is stop playing into the shitty game and play the
Yeah.
real game, which is, like he said, he has more in common with middle class working white people than rich Latino or African Americans or black.
Yeah, you can't change the past, but you can
Of the world.
can make the future.
Like,
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we're yeah. It's such a confusing, like, how do you do it? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. It's so much. Everything has to shit has to be overthrown. There's so much corporate and
but I mean,
power.
I can't see the army or the
No.
police coming and arresting you because you won't vote.
Right.
What if everybody just stops voting once in one
Nothing happens.
every election that's
Big
going
s-
to
a
come,
big stalemate.
the people just stop, and then when the Senate and Congress and the what? Be
But nothing would-
Dude, you're
nothing-
fucking everything up,
Nothing would move forward
and
at
you
all.
know you are.
Yeah.
Why?
It doesn't really anyway. I mean, it takes so much for the U.S. government to get one little thing done, because they're constantly, they're these mostly rich old white guys that are running shit
And it would
forever.
It would take everyone
Fighting
in
over- So
like-
fucking stupid.
in a country that has a government
Yeah,
established. Everyone just stop.
like a democracy.
No, just stop.
Or any-
Stop buying. Stop.
Oh yeah.
Stop using social media. Stop. I mean, and then
Yeah.
just stop it all. And then be like, when you lay aside your power that you have and go away, we will start again.
People need a mega wake up call.
I can't see. I mean,
People
the
are
governments
so
would have to
enveloped.
lock together, order
Yeah,
all their
people are
army
so enveloped
to
in all that
kill
shit,
all
too,
of
though.
us, and it would just be a governmental
I mean, we
military
all
state
people,
of the world.
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
For the most part, a lot of humans on the planet Earth use technology, but there are some people that, good luck trying to separate them from their, you know what I mean? It's that's
Those
a
are
major
the-
change that needs to happen.
Then you're gonna
on some
find
level,
out. Then you're gonna find out
just to show that
who is
people
worthy.
have the
Who is
power.
worthy of life. If you're gonna exploit
yeah,
and just utterly destroy
Yeah.
nature, you do not deserve that. You do not deserve to be here.
it's true. That shit
I mean,
happens
yeah,
every
have
second of the
society,
day.
build structure, and have, you can have roads and cars and
But as far as
if
like
you do
the
it-
corporate greed side, that
I mean-
they destroy shit on a fucking monumental scale every day. As far as the pollution
but I
it's
and I
also
can see
all the
that,
cars in
like,
the world too. There's a lot of pollution from that.
taxes pay for the upkeep of things.
Right. Yeah. The
But
municipals.
when you're paying enough taxes that the government can attack another country, can there's
Take
too
over
many
shit.
there's too much taxes being paid.
And that money gets fucked off too, especially in this country. Like, we don't know where. That's not all accounted for. There's been a lot of incidents where there's $4 trillion missing. Oh, where'd that go? Where'd that happen to
23 trillion.
Woo! Damn.
23 trillion. We don't know where it went.
We're out. On that note, take care, everyone. Leave comments below. Everyone will fill us in on their thoughts, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's just this dude is a mind opener.
Oh my God.
And sometimes he'll open my mind.
I mean, that's
so
why
much
this-
that I have a panic attack, and I'm just like,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
thanks,
scripture.
that's cool. And then after I'm like,
He's talking over a beat, but this is like a scripture. This wasn't really. It was a song
man, that
/
guy's words
scripture that
just
he's speaking.
wrecked me.
But I understand why this only has 28,000 listens just on YouTube, because
I mean,
people are scared of the truth.
yeah, 45 seconds in, you're gonna yeah.
It's over 6
no.
minutes.
I'm gonna back out of that.
We're out. Shout out Immortal Technique. Keep speaking the truth. Everyone else out there, great artists.
Right.
Keep doing your thing.
Let's figure out a way to
Don't be scared.
stop.
They're the courageous ones that we need more of. So.
Yes.
Later.
Truth and birds, truth and birds. We have opinions, we always keep an open mind.